Hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't know if you guys can see me okay. I hope you can. I wanted to check in with you real quick. I'm out on my sister's porch. I'm not in my element, and on my sister's porch there isn't much light, so I'm gonna try to turn where the light's a little bit better. There we go. I think I finally got some light here. So anyway, I wanted to tell you guys I went to see an interesting movie. Um, an interesting movie called Us. And the movie is made by a guy named Jordan Peele, who is an extraordinarily talented director. I'm very proud of him because he rose up off of YouTube. He and is Key and Peele. I think that was the comedy team that they had, and they were very funny, very creative. I put Jordan Peele in the same space with like Aaron Magruder, who created Boondocks. Just really brilliant people that I think deserve all the success that they're getting. And anyway, so I went to see the movie Us, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick review and let you guys know what I thought. And my sister is a physician. She's a medical physician, but she's also a life coach. And so she had a lot of interesting interpretations. And then also, I can't wait to see what Dr. Alicia thinks because she's a therapist. So she's deep into things that have to do with the mind and stuff like that. Yeah, as you know, Dr. Alicia, that's my queen. That's the woman I love, and so sometimes I'll bring her up. But anyway, I want to say hi to everybody that's in here. I see David Pierce, Black King, Fred W, Sharon White, Giant Gain. What's going on? L. Johnson said, "I've seen this film and there was nothing woke about it, so I don't see black people really being drawn to it." He said there was nothing woke about it. Okay. I saw it today and yesterday. It was good, says David. Demetrius says, "What up, boys? What's going on, Demetrius?" Sweetberry 32. Hey, how you doing? Emmett Bean, Green Sky 528. Hey, she says, Coco says hi. Hey, Coco. David Smith. Jeremy has awakened. Sammy Cookies, Freddie P. Okay, so I'm gonna slow down with the shout outs and give you guys a quick analysis. Of course, I gotta acknowledge Queen Vicky. Queen Vicky Dillard is in the house. Talk black to me, everybody. That's the black woman setting the world on fire, just killing it. Okay, so let me kind of break down some of what I thought. Now, first thing I'll say is, I guess my first thought is, was it a waste of time and a waste of money? I don't think it was. I would recommend it. If you want my 2 cents on it, I do think it's worth going to see. And I was happy to support Jordan Peele because even though he's in that weird Hollywood space, and I always find it so weird that so many of these Hollywood types they don't marry black women. I don't understand that. Or a lot of the black women that get ahead, they married a white man. That kind of irks me a little bit. I don't know. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who notices that and that bothers you a little? Again, I'm not dissing them. I'm not saying it makes you stupid. I'm just saying, what is up? What's up with the white women, man? Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I feel like if you're in the king of the world and you're on top of the world, I think it's best for the black family and the black community and the black empire if you're sharing that with a black woman, or with a black man. I don't understand. I'm gonna get to the top of the world and then I'm just gonna transfer all that money to Becky and her family. Like I don't get that. It's not me trying to be nasty toward anybody, but it's me just saying like it's weird. I don't understand it. But anyway, and plus, I mean they ain't they have the bodies of like 12-year-old boys. Half of them. It's like what the hell, man. Anyway, so let me focus. All right, so here's some more thoughts about the movie. I think that what grabbed a lot of people with this film is that it had a depth to it, right? There was something about the trailer that made you feel like um, it was gonna be deep, like there's a relevance there, right? There's a relevance of that has to do with us just being black. My first thought, to be honest with you, was when Chris Rock did that skit back in the day where he was on stage and he said that there's a civil war in the black community and it's the black people versus the niggas. Y'all remember that? And a lot of y'all laughed. A lot of y'all laughed at that because y'all like, yeah, I know a few niggas, right? And it's I mean 80 we know 70-80% of the black community is sleepwalking, right? I talked to George Frazier today from FrazierNet. George Frazier's a brilliant man. He's a networking guru, just a great black man. And one of the things he mentioned is that he's of the opinion that 85% of all black people are sleepwalking anyway. And so people like myself, it's almost impossible for you to try to appeal to the masses, because the masses are going to think that something's wrong with you. You're acting white, or you're being uppity, whatever, or that you're being too serious, or whatever it is. So I don't even try to appeal to the masses. I try to appeal to that small fragment of intelligent black people that want something better. They can see what I'm seeing. If you can't see what I'm seeing, then you're not going to see what I'm saying, right? So if you can, so I need you to see what I'm saying before I'm going to even spend my time saying it to you, because I don't want to fight you. I'm not trying to, have an issue with you. But that was my first thought when I saw the title, I saw the theme, I saw the concept. I said, okay, this might be black people versus the niggas, right? Okay, and so I watched the movie, and it wasn't disconnected from that, right? Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was wondering if Jordan Peele is as deep as people, want to make him out to be, right? I wonder if this is just a standard horror movie, just a movie where it's trying to be scary, and that's it. And there's nothing deep about it. There's no, statement, no subconscious, subtle statement about blackness in the movie. It's just a movie that's supposed to be scary, right? And so, on one hand, I thought about that, right? And I thought about, so in my mind, it's sort of like I broke into two different interpretations. So if you don't know the theme of Us, basically, it's a black family. They go on a vacation. I'm not going to spoil the movie. I'm gonna try not to spoil it. There is a twist at the end. I won't even mention the twist because I don't think it's relevant for this conversation, and I don't want to mess the movie up for you if you haven't seen it. But they go on a vacation, and there's this family that ends up stalking them, and basically the family is just like them, except the family, like, so they know them, they know their moves, they know how they think, everything, except for the fact that the family's like a little bit off. It's like the father is a regular smart black man, and but his clone is like almost like a deformed version himself. He's like, right? He doesn't talk or anything like that. The little boy, he's a regular little boy, but his clone is like this little kid that wears his mask because his face is all burned up, and he crawls around like a little rodent, and he's like, and he growls like, right? And then of course there's Lupita Nyong'o's character, and y'all saw her, and so anyway, throughout this film, you have this whole situation where the clones are basically coming, or whatever you want to call this. I guess you call them clones because they look just like them, except they're like a little crazy, a little off, and they're trying to kill them, right? That's kind of the basic idea. And then as it goes along, the story kind of unfolds, and it's not just their family that's been cloned; it's the whole world. Everybody has a clone. Everybody has like that dark side of themselves that's coming to kill them, right? So a therapist might watch a movie like that and think that other person references what they call the shadow self, right? The shadow self is that side of you that you hide, that side of you that you don't want other people to know about. Like some of y'all in here, like Miss Spot On or L Johnson or Sybil Repair, right? Like you probably don't want people to know. Like if you have a really horny thought, or if you're thinking like, oh, I would like to kill that person, whatever, like you don't want people thinking that, right? You don't want people to know about the time you might have stole some cookies from the grocery store when you were 12, or when you thought about plotting against your homeboy to try to make sure that, that he doesn't get all the girls that you think you should get yourself, right? You never know what it is, right? We all have that shadow self that we don't reveal. Everybody pretends in the world like we are perfect angels and wonderful people, when the fact is that we know that we're not. We all have a darker side. We all have another side of ourselves that can reveal itself, right? So that's one interpretation. I think the black consciousness interpretation to me was, I thought about that Chris Rock joke, the black people versus the niggas, right? Where you have the elite, the bougie, the educated, the well-fed, the well-compensated, those who are doing well. And then you have this black underclass that's been left behind, right? This massive black underclass that's really being poisoned every single day of the week, being poisoned by the music, being poisoned by the education, being poisoned by the environment, being poisoned by things that happen in the household, being poisoned by mass incarceration, being poisoned by fast food, being poisoned in every single way. And it's almost like it gets to the point where there's a day of reckoning at some point where they come back and they come get your ass, right? Like you gotta confront those people that you acted like they didn't exist, right? You act like they're not there. And so you think about like the Black Hollywood elite, how they became so out of touch. Then you think about Black people that went to college and that are doing well, they become out of touch. And then it gets to the point where a lot of us maybe disconnect from the hood, and we want to go out to the suburbs, and we want to live this happy white life because we got the nice job and we feel important now because we've been accepted. But then there's this whole mass of Black people that aren't accepted, right? It's like when Malcolm X used to say, if you can't accept all of us, then I don't care if you accept any of us, right? If you accept me, but you don't accept the people that I love, then you haven't accepted me, right? But then there's some Black people who say, just accept me. That's integration, right? Just accept me, let me in, give me a good life, and everything's good. I'm not gonna give you no problems, right? So that's what I thought about, and so this idea of all these zombies, these darker sides of ourselves, these mentally ill sides of ourselves coming back to harm us. It really does make you think about, like, when you go off and you raise up out of the hood, you go off to Yale and you get a job as an investment banker, and you're making $500,000 a year living in a nice house. And then you go back to the hood and you're seeing all these people that you used to know who've been affected by the dysfunction, who live a whole different reality from the one that you live, and you got to deal with that, right? You run into situations, confrontations and challenges or whatever, or people get mad at you thinking you're uppity or whatever. And so that was one interpretation I selected, right? I don't know if that was Jordan Peele's intent at all. I just know that was one interesting interpretation I kind of grabbed onto. By the way, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button and hit the share button, or share the video if you want other people to see it. And also, if you want to help us out, because when you hit the thumbs up button, it brings more people in to the algorithm. Also, if you want to know when I go live, just text the word Boyce, BOYCE, to 31996 31996. Just type Boyce into your phone, text it to 31996, and also just a reminder that this podcast is now on iTunes, so you can get it on iTunes if you want to watch it. Now, here's some other thoughts that came to mind, because I was really thinking about it in terms of, like, okay, maybe he just wanted to make a horror movie. Maybe it doesn't have to be deep just because he's Black. Maybe he doesn't have to be sending us some coded message. One thing I love about Jordan Peele's movies that is hilarious to me is he loves to make white people look really stupid. Like, I know, like, I don't even know if they get the joke. I don't know if other people get the joke, but I get the motherfucking joke. Like, I watch his movies, I'll be like, wow, he's really doing to white people what they've always done to us. Like, he makes the white characters look really stupid. They get killed first. They get killed brutally, and it's funny. Like he does stuff like that, and I don't know about y'all, but I think it's hilarious. I mean, like when I see that. That's the part. There aren't that many celebrities that I would like to have a conversation with. I really don't care about talking to celebrities, but Jordan Peele is on that small list of maybe 5 or 6 people where I thought, it'd be interesting to have a conversation with this brother just to see where his brain is at. A few of the other people are like Aaron Magruder, who created the Boondocks. I'd love to know what genius came out that led him to do that. I think Will Smith is interesting because of his life philosophy, and I think Jordan Peele is up there in terms of just the way he makes his films. Like, I think it's kind of funny. And I'm sitting there laughing, I'm like, wow, good for you, man. You figured out how to get white folks to pay you to make them look crazy. Good for you. So anyway, because they've been doing that to us since forever, right? They always been making Black people look crazy in these movies. But then I also thought about other interpretations, like, okay, maybe it's just a basic movie, in terms of horror movies where you just got either clones like that are like a replica of you, but things aren't quite right genetically, so they're like you but not quite like you. I thought about zombies. There was like a zombie element where they were zombies. I thought about the movie Cloverfield. I don't know if anybody's a sci-fi person like me, but I watched. But there was this movie called Cloverfield where these monsters came from another dimension, right? So they came from another. So I was like, maybe they came from another dimension, because what happened is that all these zombie clone people, they were united. Like, they actually had a cause. They like, where they would all hold hands, and they held hands all the way around the world. So it made me think about, like, when you look at movements, like the mass movements that have happened, where these movements have been led not by the bougie types. These movements have been led by people that are from the streets, and they're connected. You know what I mean? They're connected in this unified purpose to basically raise up and make themselves seen. And so it made me think about, like, class warfare, like this idea that if you keep certain people oppressed forever, or keep them oppressed for a long period of time, eventually they all come together, they unify, and maybe they'll come back and kill you too. right? And because they get their shit together, they get organized, right? And that's kind of what happened. These zombie creatures all got organized and went back and just started killing everybody. What else was I thinking about? There was a part in the film where Lupita's shadow self, her darker self, did say something about how people like her were created to control the regular people. So the way it was like in the movie, whenever the zombie would move, like if you were the clone of the zombie, you and the zombie moved in sync. So whatever you were doing, the zombie was doing the same thing, like except he was in like another place. So if you were eating popcorn, he was like pretending to eat popcorn. If you were dancing, he was dancing, but he was dancing like in a weird way, you know. And so basically, she said, you know, we were designed to control you. So that leads you to think, okay, maybe there's an interpretation that relates to like the way media is designed to control us and really make us, you know, into these zombie-like creatures where we're constantly responding to what we see on TV, what we hear on the radio. Where white people are controlling, you know, controlling pretty much everything that we think, everything that we react to, you know, stuff like that. And so, you know, in fact, there was a part in the movie where the white lady says something like, "Yeah, my husband, he drives me crazy. Sometimes I just want to kill him." And so when her zombie self comes back and kills her husband, you know, the zombie kind of laughs about it. Like she thinks it's really funny that her husband got killed, right? So in other words, I'm sure that there's a lot more to it. You know, I'm sure that Jordan Peele himself would have a lot to say about the film. In fact, if Jordan happens to be a fan or a follower of what I do, you're definitely invited, brother, to come on the podcast. I'd love to hear your explanation. He's one of the few Hollywood types that I would actually be interested in talking to. Everyone else, I don't really care. I don't really have a lot of respect for most of the people that do that mainstream stuff. To me, it just means white people like you, and that's not an accomplishment. That's almost an embarrassment. But anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. So I'm gonna read some of your comments. That movie, The Island, was a better film about cloning. It made more sense than this film. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. Here's one thing I'm gonna tell you about the movie, just to be real with you. It wasn't, it wasn't that scary. So if you're really into horror movies, you probably won't be scared after a while. You'll be kind of, you'll find it intriguing, right? Like when I was asked like what I thought about the movie from my family, I said it's visually appealing. It's cinematically solid. You know, the imagery is interesting. There's always something interesting to look at on screen. There's always good, music and sound effects. There's one scene where they're playing "Fuck the Police" for about damn near 10 minutes. Songs like "I Got Five" on it. I mean, who hears songs like that in movies? But I thought it was great. So I think from a cinematic standpoint, it's interesting, right? Like you won't, if you go see it, in my opinion, you won't feel like you wasted your time and you won't feel like you wasted your money. But will you see a movie that scares the shit out of you? I've seen scarier movies. What is it? Like I mentioned Cloverfield, like that movie. That movie got in your head. But then there was the other one, the ones where they pretend like it's reality, but it's not reality. You know what I'm talking about? I forgot what it. Tell me if y'all know where they put up the camera. They have the home video, and they'll catch the ghosts in the house. I can't remember what it's called, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like those movies are really good to me. Like those movies are one of the few that actually get a reaction from me. But so I don't think you're gonna be scared. I also don't think you're going to walk away feeling like it's the greatest movie you've ever seen. Yeah, Paranormal Activity. Thank you. See, y'all so smart. I knew y'all were going to come. And Blair Witch. Yep. Both of those, because Blair Witch was like the beginning of that whole genre. And so after Blair Witch, their movie took off. Everybody started doing it. But yeah, movies like that get me. But most of them, it doesn't do anything. So I think I don't think you're going to feel like you saw the greatest movie in the world. I don't think you're going to feel like you saw the scariest movie in the world. But you might feel like you saw one of the most interesting movies you've ever seen in your life. And that's why I say it's worth seeing it either in the theaters or on DVD, Blu-ray, Netflix, whatever service they put it on. Like I think that would make it, you wouldn't feel like it was a waste of time. Let me see here. I'm looking here. Omega called me a bald bitch. Who'd you call a bald bitch? Oh, you ain't talking about me. Because, I got mods in here, man. They'll take you down. Let me see here. Oh, speaking of bald bitches, did y'all see that they have this device now where men can breastfeed their babies? It's on my Instagram. There's an image of it on my Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. They have this thing. The man puts it on his shoulder, and he breastfeeds the baby. Like he's breastfeeding the baby like through this device. What the fuck? What is that, man? What is that? Like, really? Like, really? Oh my God. I was born on the wrong planet. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel like I was born on the wrong planet. Um, love you, boys. Love you too, Zulu Immortal. Thank you. Wow, I'm done with crackers. Junior Shea, hello from Kentucky. What's going on, Junior? How you doing? And I saw the twist before the second act of the movie. The film was insanely predictable. Yeah, I picked up the twist. I wouldn't say before the second act. I would say probably maybe beyond the halfway mark, maybe 60%. I saw the twist. I'm not gonna tell you the twist though, because I don't want to mess it up. That's causing too much confusion to the baby. Yeah, I don't think I'd want my first memory of my father to be sucking his titty. Like I just don't think that would be a good one for me to carry around in my head. That's not something I really just no. Sorry, just sorry, can't no. Um, but anyway, let me keep going. I just even saying just the fact that those words came out of my mouth kind of bother me now. The bottom line, Boyce, you are great. Thank you. You are great too. I appreciate it. Talk about your wife. I do not have a wife. You got a troll. I got a million trolls. Troll. You know, haters and trolls. That's actually a sign of impact. Like if you do anything successful, you're gonna have trolls and haters and all that. That don't bother me anymore. Very symbolic movies. Go down the rabbit hole. 11:11. Yeah, Jeremiah 11:11. I'm gonna look that up. Yep, hella plot holes. Island of Dr. Moreau. Best clone of genetics movie. That was good. Um, let me see here. L. Johnson. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. I'm waiting along. Okay, let me see. What do you rate? 1 to 10? 10 being the highest, says Freddie. I'm going to say I give it about an 8.2. Yeah, I'd say an 8.2. 8.2, maybe 8.2 to 8.5. I wouldn't give it a 9 or a 10, but it was good. You're trolling the live stream. Who's trolling? Tell me who the troll is, and I'll try to get the troll out of here. If nobody hates, you're not making moves. Keep it up, Dr. B. Yeah, I mean, the best thing a hater can give you is your attention, is their attention. Like, that's a gift. Because they can be paying attention to a lot of stuff. The fact that they're paying attention to you means that you're making an impact. So, if the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl and they take the Super Bowl away from the, New England Patriots, then of course the Patriots aren't going to like the Cowboys. Where you don't want to be is where people don't notice you because you're not doing anything of significance. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll way back up. Look at some of the comments. Civil Repair says need a long sleep. Okay. L. Johnson's practically impossible to make a socially conscious horror movie every time you release something. I agree. I mean, I think Jordan Peele. I don't have any complaints about Jordan Peele. I think Jordan Peele is a good brother who's doing good work, and I believe that he deserves respect. I think it's great. I think he's involved with the Twilight Zone project. And so if he is, I think that's wonderful. I congratulate him for that. And I believe he deserves respect for getting acknowledged for good work. So good for him. Omega, get your funky tail out of Dr. Boyce's chat, you dirty troll. Oh, so it's Omega. Is Omega? Let me see. Okay, let me see if Omega's a troll. All right, Omega, I'm looking for you. I can't find you. So I think Omega's hiding now. That's what little bitchy trolls do. They hide in the corner and just watch. Let me see. I can't find Omega. But you know what? Let me see. Boogie Wolf, I'm gonna make you a mod. So if you see Omega, you go get his ass. Get him out of here. Boyce, I saved 30,000. What can I do with it? Well, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, if you don't own a home, I would consider looking into buying a home. If you don't want to buy a home, then buy some stocks. Don't put it all like in a business or something. Like put maybe some of it, but not all of it. Try to see if you can look around for business ideas that you can get in for a low price. I see you everywhere bothering folks, Dr. Boyce. Wait a minute. Is Boogie Wolf the troll? Did I just make a troll into a mod? I don't think so. I hope not, man. That would suck. They'll have to get you out of here. Okay, S&J Consulting, make me a mod. Okay, you're a mod. All right, let me see here. Yes, Dr. B, thank you. Okay, good. All right. But you grease your head, okay? What's your take on ETF? The ETF MJ stock? You mean like marijuana? I mean, I bought some marijuana stocks, but I don't have any particular preference in any particular one. Omega's attention span is too short. He left the chat. Haven't seen it yet, says Black Enterprise, going tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's worth going to see. Boogie Wolf is a troll. Yeah, I think he is. I have to unmoderate him. Okay, so he's not a mod anymore. So Boogie Wolf, I had to make you a non-mod. R3, I can't make you a troll. I don't know what to think, man. You just asked me to borrow $1,000. I don't know what that means, man. when will your podcast be on Google? I don't. I mean, you can Google it. You can search for it. Um, but I know it's on iTunes. You can go to iTunes and check out the podcast. Ban everybody. What's up with the Thriller shirt? Um, Again, I think it was part of the goal of making the film visually appealing. I didn't see any particular meaning behind it. Aurora Cannabis, yeah, I think Aurora isn't that the name of one of the companies. I own some stock in Aurora. What I did was I just diversified in the cannabis industry because what happens is if the government makes a new law or a new regulation that makes it appear that cannabis is going to be more readily accepted and allowed in different states, all the cannabis stocks are going to get a bump up, right? All of them are. So my goal was just to get into the industry and just buy a bunch of them. So that's what I did. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, please. If you haven't done it yet, please hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Also, I want you to know that I definitely recommend going to see the movie. I think it's definitely a great movie to see. Is it the greatest movie I've ever seen? No, but then again, most movies aren't. But I think it's worth it. Have I heard of a lady named Sophia Stewart? No, I have not. I have no idea who that is. They're weaponizing cannabis. Probably. They already weaponized your damn fast food. So just, just if you ever want to die quickly, just eat McDonald's every day and see what happens. Eat McDonald's and drink a Coke with it. And there you go. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I will talk to you soon, and you have a good day.